As we fast approach the halfway point of the 2023-24 La Liga season, there's a new boy sitting at the top of the pile, and I'm not quite sure how to say this. Girona? Anyway, Girona are sitting pretty above the rest of the league and even had the cheek to beat Barcelona for the very first time in the Catalan derby in December. But a quick check of their honours, or lack of them if you want to put it that way, shows that this is a bit of an anomaly. They've never won a trophy in their entire existence, unless we consider the Supercopa de Catalunya. Yeah, exactly. And their pre-season target was to avoid relegation. So what's happening over in Spain? Why are Girona competing with the big boys, and why is their story so controversial to some? Stick around to find out. As I type this, Girona are top of La Liga and have become only the fourth team, after Barca, Real Madrid and Atletico, who else, to win 11 of their opening 13 matches. In fact, Girona have 41 points after 16 matches, the fourth best record of any league leader at this stage. They're currently 2 points above Real and 7 points above the other two after 16 matches. On face value, it looks like a lovely little underdog story, but it runs a little deeper than that. Despite their good start, they alerted many around Europe to their credentials only when they battered Barcelona in December 2023 at the Estadio Olímpic Luis Companys. Barcelona's borrowed ground while the Camp Nou gets renovated. Barcelona were completely outplayed and couldn't handle the young Gironistas. So how did we get to this point? Let's have a look. 16 years ago, Girona were playing in Spain's 4th division and could only dream of the heady heights of La Liga. In 2008, Girona returned to the Segunda division to end a nearly 50-year absence from the professional leagues. This was seen as a turning point as local citizens started to get football fever. Before, they weren't particularly well supported, with Girona citizens mainly supporting Barca, Espanyol or Real Madrid. Obviously, I mean, they are one of the local teams after all. And it's only recent that Girona would see 200 fans attend their home games. Now, more kids support Girona and can be seen wearing their shirts. They weren't particularly well managed for a number of years, and in 2013 had debts of nearly £3 million with the public health and Spanish tax services, which seems a bit of a common theme in Spain, but there you go. Owner Josep Delgado couldn't afford to pay the debts and player wages, so in 2015, after 6 months of negotiations, sold an 80% stake in Girona to Argentine lawyer Ricardo Pini for €2 million. Girona was saved. Pini started to go to some of the matches ready to take over, except the deal collapsed. Allegedly, as the new owners missed several deadlines to complete the purchase, seemingly because they were too busy attending the matches for free. So what happened to Delgado? Oh, then Guardiola arrived. No, not that one. Pep Guardiola, Pep's brother, arrived and acted as a mediator between Girona and new owners TVSE Football, with the new owners needing to pay an extra €600,000 to help with spiralling short-term costs. Pep appointed President Delphi Gelli, the man who once scored an own goal in extra time to hand Liverpool the UEFA Cup. But there were no more own goals for Girona as they started to compete in the Segunda division, missing out in the playoffs for promotion to La Liga 3 times in 4 years. Then finally in 2017 they finished second under manager Pablo Machin to reach the top flight for the first time in their history. Machin left in 2018, but he's seen as a bit of a god around those parts and is regularly seen in their executive box and has a supporters group named after him. In the same year as their promotion, Girona announced a full takeover from the City Football Group after they bought all of TVSE Football shares. As you can imagine, this went down like a lead balloon with the other clubs. Later, in 2020, PER sold 35% of City Group shares to Bolivian businessman Marcelo Clor, who was the owner of Club Bolivar. So let's see who their owner... Oh, never mind. Another one under the CFG umbrella. The club nicknamed the King of Cups, despite the fact they've won 6 in 95 years. To the surprise of absolutely nobody, the CFG takeover is where Girona's transformation began. Girona joined the City Group in 2017 and was supposed to be a satellite club for City to farm young players out for their development, and there were no real controversies or debates against the takeover, aside from small groups of fans worried about a name change such as Girona City, etc. And they needed not have worried as no changes were made. Well, apart from the crown on their badge, that was removed. Oh, and the badge was changed to make it more similar to the other badges in the group, a bit more round. But apart from that, same old Girona. They've even spent 5 pre-season campaigns using City's facilities, so they're getting their money's worth. Girona were relegated in 2019 and knew they'd struggle for cash, as the difference in TV money between the top 2 divisions is quite large in Spain, so Girona needed to change. And change they did. They changed philosophy, changing focus to younger players with lower salaries, and in 2021 signed Michel as manager. Michel, the ex-Vallecano player, that is, not Michel, the ex-Real Madrid and Spain international. Michel and Girona are a match made in heaven, as they both share the same vision on how to play and manage the club, and he joined with a reputation as a promotion expert, following previous good jobs at Huesca and Rayo Vallecano, even though on both occasions he was sacked before Christmas. Given his good job at Girona so far, the club are unlikely to sign Seed and deliver his sacking before Christmas 2023, so it looks like he's broken that particular tradition. Except it didn't start off that way. After Michel's first 10 games, Girona were in the relegation zone in Spain's second tier. Girona assessed their situation, used a combination of AI and performance analytics metrics run through the computer, I'm not even joking, and computer said yes, that the club should keep faith in Michel. Michel then later said, what you need is time. Luckily with Girona, I have that. I knew is where a bit of Citigroup dodginess helped Girona. They knew all along that with their lack of cash and now a reduction in TV income, it'd be difficult to convince players to join, especially when in the second division. So Girona and CFG took a different approach to recruitment by going for more experienced players who Girona couldn't afford but were instead signed by City and then loaned to Girona. Sounds a bit sneaky to me, and is how players such as Florian Lejeune, ex-Arsenal defender Pablo Mari and Ruben Sobrino were signed. Players unlikely to play for City but would instantly upgrade Girona. Sneaky. So why would City do this? City don't benefit massively financially, with the sales of Lejeune and Sobrino, for example, totalling not much more than €3 million, but City benefit from player progression, then potentially sell-on fees, where City can pluck anyone who's developed enough to be part of the team. Well, that's my theory anyway. So how is Girona doing what they're doing? Take it back to that win over Barca. They went toe-to-toe with Barca for possession, only ended up with slightly less, and built from the back really well, even with Barca's high press, and created little patterns that disrupted Barca's plans. Key to that building from the back are ball-playing centre-backs such as Daley Blint and Eric Garcia, who creates gaps with his movement and pings lovely balls through the lines, and also young left-back or wing-back Miguel Gutierrez, who was once in the Real Madrid academy but now bosses Girona's left flank by cutting him from the left and transforming into a useful attacking midfielder whose performances have been spot on all season, and was no surprise to see him scored against Barca. That match also showed that Girona are just fearless. In that match, Barca's XG was 4.06, whereas Girona's was 2.4, which shows that Barca had the better of the chances, but despite some of those pressures, they continued to attack fearlessly, a trait they've had all season. But there's no point being fearless if you ain't got the players to pull it off. Club captain Alex Garcia has been solid all season, so has Eric Garcia, no relation, who is currently on loan from Barca, which seems like a decent bit of business until you realise that it only came about as Barca needed to get rid of some players to make room on their salary limit and register the signings of João Cancelo and João Felix. Garcia recognised he was far down the pecking order anyway and was desperate for game time. 19-year-old winger Savio, or Savinho as he's more commonly known as for some reason, is one of the top players in the Liga this season. He was signed by Troyes, who are owned by, guess who? Yes, City Football Group of course, but oddly never played for Troyes and went straight on loan to PSV for the 2022-23 season. After being out for 2 months of injury, it was difficult to convince the staff and Michel that he was good enough after so few matches as a pro, but Michel trusts the process and has been a top player. As I type this, joint top for assists in the league with 5. Viktor Tsankov has been great in the attacking third since signing in January 2023 from Dynamo Kiev, and apparently chose Girona as Pep Guardiola also works for Viktor's agency SEG. And Artem Dovbyk was their record signing in summer 2023 after scoring 24 in 30 for Dnipro, or should I say Dnipro-1 as they're called now, as the original Dnipro no longer exists, and it helped that they could link him with his Ukrainian international teammate Tsygankov. He's carried that on with Girona and is currently second in the whole league for goals and assists behind only Bellingham, but then again, everyone's behind Bellingham this year. Maybe a video idea. Christian Stuani, the guy who forgot where the goal is when he played for Middlesbrough, has finally remembered and is playing his part, being one of the best in the league for goals per 90, a stat that Dovbyk is also in. And it's not just the outfield players but also the keeper, as Gazzaniga, yes, he formerly of Spurs, Southampton and Fulham, is currently the 4th best in the league in terms of save percentage, with a higher save percentage than Oblak, ter Stegen and Unai Simon. Who saw that coming? Simply put, with Girona getting the best out of their squad available to them, they sit top of the pile for goals per match and are 4th in the league for average possession, behind Real, Barca and Las Palmas obviously. The 2nd for XG ahead of Real, 2nd for big chances created, showing that their attacking players are doing their thing, and 4th in the league for accurate passes. So we've established that despite the helping hand from City Football Group, Girona are quite a well-run club. President Jelly is an ex-La Masia player and was once roommates with Pep, but they still have their own identity under the group. They're successful because they're well-run, not because of huge amounts of money. For example, their salary cap is roughly 13th highest in the league, but their actual expenditure is roughly half that. Per said that football clubs are easy to buy, but it's way tougher to maintain and make them sustainable. A bit rich coming from the brother of the guy who kind of activated the cheat code to maintain the club, but whatever, they're still well run. So what next for Michel and the club? Firstly, Michel has signed a contract extension until 2026 and has endeared himself to the fans by learning Catalan and used it during his press conferences. He's also instructed the staff at the club to text him in Catalan and now has a personal teacher to teach him the language, so it looks like he's in it for the long haul. That hasn't stopped people from speculating that he could replace Pep when he finally leaves City, but Michel laps this off. For the club itself, Opta gives Girona a massive 1 to 2% chance of holding on to the top spot and say they're statistically most likely to finish 4th and a place in Europe for the first time in their history. After the Barcelona Girona match in December, Michel said, "It's not our target to win La Liga and I don't want to compare our team to anyone, but we play really well. But tonight I realise we can beat any opponent." They might need to tighten up defensively. I mean, Girona are joint 11th for clean sheets, half as many as Real have, and have won a few of their matches after coming from behind. But if they carry this on, who knows? Some club sources say they're already looking at how to upgrade the Montilivi with a view to European football next season, which seems a little cocky to me after 16 games, but watch this space. They run their finances well, and with the La Liga TV deal, cash is shared more evenly, and thanks to their approach, the club has become known as a bit of a development club for young players. They're well aware of their position in the world, as Jelly said, "We provide talents a platform to develop and grow." Douglas Luiz might be ripping it up in the Premier League with Villa, but he was signed by the City Group in 2017 and sent on loan at Girona for 2 years, and is now probably one of the Premier League's leading midfielders. Probably. He's not always been successful, with City wanting Brahim Diaz to join Girona for game time in 2018, but then selling him to Real Madrid when he refused. But overall, it's been okay. And Barcelona have recently started to show a growing interest in Girona's players, such as Oriol Romeo, who was the best Girona player in 2022, but joined Barca in July. Oh, and then Watts from the bench as his old team smashed his new team. And the city of Girona is also an appealing place to live for new and young signings. Costa Brava, which sounds like a young Spanish goalkeeper, but is actually a region in Spain where some of their best beaches are found, is only around 25 minutes away. And to top it off, Game of Thrones was also filmed there. And Girona know that when they play the game, they win or die. There's no middle ground. And so far they're winning, with a stark reminder that they're 2 points ahead of the nearest challengers. Thanks ever so much for watching my video. I hope it was informative or funny or interesting or all of the above. If you did enjoy it, then please consider liking it, or even better, just give that subscribe button a little tap-a-roo. But above all, thanks for watching and your support, and have a scintillating day.